Welcome to Fandom Night, the show that still wants a Green Ranger shield for its casual dress. I'm your host, Reploid Bill William Bush. Let's go around the chairs. Oh wait, co-host thing. It's like the chairs.
Yeah, I broke those, dude. Ages ago. That's why we can't call the show the chairs anymore.
I'm Shane McCurry, Proto Guy.
Nick Bennett, Lone Paladin.
That'd be you, guy.
Scott Action Jackson.
Seth Level Sario.
Okay.
Here comes a haterade.
We are formally completing a promise that we made in the past to go through every single Final Fantasy game that there is a Final Fantasy Legacy, and we are quite far. This is Final Fantasy VIII, and I will do the contact information at the end of the show because I'm at half-mast for my breath. The first thing we do is pick a version, and I think there's only two.
There's only, well, yeah, it's PC and PS1, but it's probably, none of us have played the PC version.
I used to own it, actually. I owned it on the PC first, before I owned it on the PlayStation. Yeah. Yeah. I played it on this old Windows 98 computer, and it was,
Craptastic.
it was ass, because my computer was ass. It wasn't the game's fault.
Wait. Was it as ass as Windows 8?
It was his dad's fault for being so ass.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
You cannot disable Task Manager.
Yes, you can!
Or can you?
Yes, you can!
It is physically possible, and just highly not recommended.
It is possible to delete the Task Manager.
It's also possible to delete Windows. While still in Windows,
Yeah.
running Windows.
Yeah.
Deltree.
I hate people that do that. With the burning passion of 100,000 exploding suns.
We don't have that many sons, so let's go ahead and pick
PlayStation.
PlayStation's
the Game
one
Boy
that
Advance version.
There is no Game Boy Advance version, you jackass.
Sorry, Bill, we're getting into the Final Fantasies where they no longer do that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VIII,
7 and 8
PlayStation.
haven't got their remakes yet. 9 hasn't got its yet. 10 did.
No, we actually are on the PlayStation version. I'm pretty sure of
The
that.
PlayStation version was the best.
It was the best? Okay.
Well, because
Considering the fact
I
that...
doubt there's any modders out there that took the time with 8 as they have done with 7. So, yeah, probably the better version would be the PS1.
Now that we've picked our version, we see and hear the game.
Well, this is actually the very first Final Fantasy for the PlayStation.
Technically speaking, it was
because
designed solely for the PlayStation.
big difference in the graphics.
No, it looks slightly better.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, well, everybody wasn't a polygon.
Yeah, you missed that.
I also like, and you know,
I don't know, I kind of like
wanna
the sprites.
say- don't quote me on this, but I want to say this is the first Final Fantasy where people actually follow you.
Yeah, it is. It's the first Final Fantasy game where people are
Where you-
not, like, absorbed into your corporate
Yeah,
being.
they don't walk into you and you run around places.
You don't run
they
around as
follow
one
you.
dude. You got people
I
running behind you
think-
that you can run in figure eights. It's
I
the
think
first
you
one.
are accurate. But just to put the bar down here, and I know this isn't quite Final Fantasy, but its competitor did do it first. As far back as Dragon Quest II, your party actually did walk behind you in a single file.
Okay. But for Final Fantasy,
Yes, this was
is
the first time
one.
they ever did this.
And, well, with the increased cutscene, I mean, the cutscenes were better, obviously.
Opening cutscene
probably
says it
Fucking
all.
amazing.
Opening cutscene is probably the best cutscene. For me, it's probably... No, I'd say it's probably the best opening in a Final Fantasy. I had to fight myself with that in 10. Really did enjoy 10's opening.
10's opening was pretty
See,
good.
those are the two openings that really...
But 8 had this energy behind it that...
Because it starts off with awesome.
It starts off with this badass fight scene, and that's the
7
first
felt
thing
epic.
you see.
7 felt epic. 8 was like the introduction to an awesome like series that you would be watching or something. Like it was like DVD quality, big epic like
Badassery.
opener. Yeah. And then 9 was forgettable.
I don't even remember what happened at the beginning of 9.
They just fly to
And
Alexandria.
Tim's
Oh, that
opening,
makes
the
sense.
Xanarkin thing is...
That is awesome. I only like it because the music makes it epic. Music makes it.
But that's
real.
part
I
of
don't
it.
know that like really big energetic orchestra music that Nobuo Matsu wrote for the opening for 8.
That's
That's
good.
what I was
It's good.
getting at.
No, it's good. No,
I'm trying to remember the actual name of it. I think it's.
oh my god.
Part of it is what you hear.
I used to
That's-
know the name of it, but I don't remember
I
anymore.
mean, watch
I'll look it up
different.
real
If you
quick.
watch a movie and you take all the music out, it's not the same movie anymore.
Right.
No.
Like, the music comes. It's
The
part
the music is a very big factor on how you feel about it.
Yeah.
I felt that this was awesome. I'll tell you that much.
It's because it is like
That opening.
the way the rain was coming down and whatnot, and the sword. Like you don't know exactly what you're looking at, but like the feather goes up into the sky, and then the sword comes down and hits the ground, and the chain swings back and forth, and that silhouette comes across the top of the screen, and I was like, something is going on. Like, and then that hand reaches out and grabs the sword, and Final Fantasy VIII flashes, but it like flashes and it's jagged everywhere. Like it doesn't stay there, and then it goes away, and all of a sudden he picks that sword up and it goes into that battle, and I was like, what's going on? And then the most disappointing thing about the opener is to figure out they was training.
That is. I thought it was.
It was very aggressive training.
Yeah.
They do not like each other.
Well, I'll give that to you, but the thing that bothered me was I was like, oh, that's a cop out, because it looked like the start, like we were, like maybe he was already a bounty hunter or something. I mean, we didn't know the story of the game.
We just saw a badass dude in a half leather jacket with a sword gun.
But
Now that we're seeing our game,
Of
and
epic badassery.
we will say that this part is epic, let's discuss costume design for characters.
well,
it's still better than 12.
what?
By far.
Do you remember the end of Dungeons and Dragons, the movie? Do you remember that ridiculously gay leather coat outfit
No.
that he wore?
No.
Like, you don't? Well, you
Still
do.
better.
Because it's exactly
than
what
Vaughn.
Squall is wearing.
Still better than Vaughn.
It's
Yes.
exactly what Squall is wearing.
That's true, but I agree with Nick there.
Hell over Hades.
I have
Better than
I
Vaughn.
have plenty to say about Vaughn when we get there.
Stupid fucking ass.
But the first thing that we must discuss is probably the gayest costumes in the history of Final Fantasy to this point were probably featured here.
So you got a problem with the cowboy?
No, actually, the cowboy
No.
was really
He
well
looks-
done.
Irvine was
He
actually
looks like a
sweet.
cowboy.
He looks fine, except he doesn't look like he belongs there. Like, he doesn't
I
look
always
like
thought he was out of
matches that
place.
universe at all.
I always thought he's feeling a little out of
Because
place.
the universe is still very much an urban, like New York City type of atmosphere, and he's walking around in cowboy boots with like an old duster and shit,
So like, okay,
carrying a sawed-off shotgun.
all right. So Irvine looks good.
As a rifle.
What about Renoa?
Renoa is...
She looks like a street corner whore.
Yeah.
She's got the slightly long coat. She's wearing these biker type shorts. Her stomach is showing out. She's got the little black top. She looks like they took Tifa and made her somehow more whorish.
All right, so we established that Renoa looks good. So now we're on the selfie.
Selfie...
Selfie looks like mommy dressed her when she was 3 and she just upcreased the size every year.
With that really weird yellow dress.
That's something like my daughter, like the onesie dress thing wears when, you know, she was like, I don't know, 1.5. And she is already intelligent enough to be like, if you go to the store and try to buy her that crap, my daughter, which is 2, will take it out of the cart and throw it on the floor. I'm not wearing that. She's already picking her own clothes.
All right.
Selfie has a couple years to go before she gets there.
Okay, so selfie looks dirty.
Quistis is interesting.
She wears it's like an orange.
And she might be one of the only. So far, I have two people that I'm not exactly hating on.
Irvine and Quistis. Her costume is that orange.
It's weird to actually describe.
I think that's why it interests me.
I don't know what it is.
Because you could say that Renoa's costume is unique too, but Renoa looks like a corner walker.
And I'm okay with that.
You mean a
But
street walker? They don't walk the corners, Bill. They work the corners.
Oh, she works it, I'm sure.
and I'm okay with that.
Especially, come on! The way that she ends up with, like, the guy and whatnot, and, like, she's dating, like, she's dating two guys while talking to another guy in one single story arc. At the beginning of the game, she sends one of your friends to go ask for your ring because she kind of likes you.
You misunderstand. I didn't say.
We're not there yet.
I didn't.
But here's my point. The way she looks is quite significant to the way she acts.
I'm okay with it.
Shane's okay with the hookers, so if you would like his number, please like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will be more than happy to give it to you.
Go ahead and stay tuned until the end. Get a hold of the Gmail. We'll give you a Shane number.
Oh my god.
He's got plenty of money to spare.
Well,
thank you.
Who are some other characters then?
Zell.
Since you...
Zell!
He wore the shorts and the
he wore the
vest.
shorts and the vest.
He looks like something out of a cliche California surfer movie.
Yeah, and he's got that dumb tattoo on his face.
That's Iron Mike right there.
First off, Iron Mike gets away with it because he punches people in the face for a
And
living.
bites their ears
He
off.
punches people in the face.
But listen,
Don't forget ear biting.
if today, and I realize this is a fictional universe, but say you tomorrow put that tattoo on your face, how many career options do you have left?
0.
Besides working for Seed, Balam Garden, and killing people.
I don't
If it
know.
pays well.
Someday,
If it pays well, I'll kill the people.
If it pays well, you'll kill the people.
I'll kill
I
people.
feel
Someday
like
killing people sounds alright.
I feel like he was a cliche California surfer that one day him and his friends thought it would be funny, so he put this tattoo on his face, and then he realized he couldn't get a job anywhere, so he enlisted. It was like the only thing left for him.
I think
Because not even McDonald's will take you with that tattoo on your face.
Nope. It is true. They will not do so.
Zell, your career at McDonald's.
Like,
It's
Your
non-existent.
career at McDonald's is over. Get the fuck out.
they're like everybody's telling their stories like, yeah, my father was a Seed or whatever, and then he's like, yeah, I put a tattoo on my face. There wasn't much else that I could do after this except join this fucking assassin organization, which is weird too. I don't know.
They're equal opportunity employees.
Like the whole system is weird. The Seed system is weird because they're like assassins, but they're also some sort of military
They're basically mercenaries.
Mm-hmm.
They get jobs sent to them. It's to the weird guy underneath the garden.
The actual-
He actually
Yeah, I
owns it.
know.
The actual
We'll
headmaster.
get there. We'll get there.
But if you want to look at all the people, so you
Now the design. If we've talked about the people, what about the world?
The world is weird, but it's got some really unique technologies to it.
I like the fact that there were actually cars and relatable city structures in the game.
you got to ride on a train. I understand.
That's
It's
something
like
that I
you could drive
enjoy.
cars, you could ride the train, you actually rode a boat.
No, we understand that you also did that in 7.
I liked the idea that it was like a futuristic 1940s.
In my
like
opinion,
where they go to the big hotel and there's the lady
One of
playing
the
the
things
piano
people
and
hated-
things.
Was the fucking fact that you had to buy fuel for your car. Which is cool until you realize
Because
you
it's-
gotta buy fuel for your fucking virtual car. And you're sitting there going,
Well,
Man, I really need to get across this area fast.
there's not many games out there that do that, though.
It's funny because the same guy that's over here being like, I don't want to buy fuel for my car because that's bullshit, is the same guy that was excited because in Final Fantasy II, when people died, they stayed dead, and that was realistic.
And in real life, hey, listen.
Now he has to fill the car up, and he's like, that's bullshit.
It's because they charge like fucking 20,000 gil for a gallon of gas. It's like, oh, you need gas for your $10,000
Now,
rental
I understand
car.
where you're
But
getting
you
at.
getting a paycheck?
I understand where you're getting at because I actually don't know how I don't know how gil transfers to dollars.
Right, I don't either.
You know,
It probably
20,000.
wasn't 20,000, but it's like, as it goes on, and you're just cruising around going, where the fuck do I go? What do I do?
You get out of your car, you walk across the edge of the map, and you kill
stab
enemies
things in the face to go
redundantly.
get more money to go buy more gas.
You don't
for your
get money for
broke-ass
killing
car.
anything.
No, but you get items, which you can sell for money.
Okay, I'll
The
give
So
you
you
that.
get
the
money
tests.
for killing shit.
You take seed
So-
tests.
And
Okay,
then you take a lot of seed tests. And as you're running around killing things,
You just randomly get money.
soundtrack,
That's
as
good.
always, is fucking amazing.
It's from Nobuo Uematsu did another great job as usual. You know, I don't think he's ever had a game or a Final Fantasy game where his music sucks.
The final boss music, not like the first two stages, those were alright.
But you're talking the final.
I'm talking about the actual final bit was probably one of my favorite final boss songs of all times.
I see.
And I can't remember the actual name of it.
How about that?
Oh, The Extreme.
Since we're talking about designs, what about the sorceresses?
Well,
Edea,
I thought she looked kind of neat.
she looked really
She looked
awesome.
real dark, menacing.
She had that long flowing black dress type cloak thing.
She even had the purple mascara. If you actually pay attention in the
I know.
cutscenes.
She had like that sorceress crown dealie on.
Mhm.
Well, tiara, it wasn't a crown on her.
Right, but it was.
And she was super pale skin, like she hadn't seen the light of day because she's been too busy in her dark area brooding, going.
This is Final Fantasy.
Everyone's brooding.
Everyone's brooding.
Yeah, I know, but even then, it's just
Adele,
If the good guys,
Adele
it was
was.
dumpy.
if the good guys are brooding that hard, then the bad guys
They're
got to be
brooding even
really
harder.
brooding.
Now Adele was probably the I did not like.
Adele was the one that was sealed up in
Yeah,
that space
Yes,
thing, right?
yes, and it was retarded. I did not like anything about that sorceress.
Oh yeah.
It didn't even look like a chick. It
Yeah.
looked like a dude.
Yeah, it really did.
Seriously, it looked like a dude.
Yeah, it was
I literally looked at it the first time. I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" It's like that's the sorceress Adele. I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
that design terrible.
That chick is flat chested and has a penis.
Holy shit!
There's no chick at all.
I feel like you couldn't see her penis.
No, but I'm just like
She
that's a
shouldn't
dude.
have a penis, period, in which to see.
Shouldn't.
It's like
But-
that is a dude. Get that shit out of here. No.
But, spoiler alert,
Get out of here. On this show?
Renoa, we already talked about her design,
Yeah.
is a
We sure did.
sorceress. But,
Oh no.
didn't see that coming. Actually, I really did. When I
Well-
first played the game, I did not see that coming.
Yeah,
I will
we're
agree.
gonna
One
get
of
there
the weird
too.
things with her is the only thing that she gets out of her sorcerer lady powers is the fact that she gets a second set of limit breaks that suck. Suck so much ass, it's not funny.
Shane seems to be
She
laughing.
goes into berserk mode.
I personally.
She gets under the berserk status, but in a slightly different manner. She starts throwing every spell she has.
I personally love
makes her
limit
weaker.
breaks.
Now, the
When we
Angelo
get there-
limit breaks, those were good.
When we get there, because that's
I
part
can
that's part of
summon up my
gameplay.
puppy dog.
But once we get to the gameplay, I'll let you two go at it.
Yeah.
But I got my own issues with some of the limit breaks.
Oh, I don't have an issue.
Not, but oh, you broke the game, you fuck.
No.
Okay.
No, I broke the game.
I love her limit breaks. Because I named the dog Vaginal.
Vaginal rush.
She uses attacks like the vaginal cannon. And the vaginal rush. It changes everything. It's always a joy to see a limit break.
Vaginal find was another one, I believe.
Yeah, vaginal find.
Yeah. When he like randomly runs in, he's like, "Here's an item." I'm like, "Thanks, puppy."
Yeah.
Bill's going, "Thanks, vaginal." Thumbs up, approved.
But
I also like it when she talks to her dog too, because that's interesting.
but
She's just looking down.
How's it going, Vaginal?
last sorceress we got to talk about is Ultimecia.
Ultimecia is
Mesa,
probably one of the most
I like the way she looked with the fucking hair like
elaborate-looking
horns
ones.
and shit.
Yes.
She had her hair
That
up in
bitch didn't have a crown. That bitch had horns.
she had
She's like, I am so fucking crazy
oh yeah.
in this whole time fuck up thing. I gave myself horns.
Best
Deal with
design out of all the four sorcerers.
Yes.
She looks the best.
I like the first and last sorceress.
Yes,
Easily.
yes, yes. Renoa shouldn't even been one. I don't.
And
but
Adele.
Adele was dumpy.
Adele can go suck her own dick.
Yes, if she has it. We don't know.
I swear, it looks like a dude.
It really.
all
I don't
right?
understand where you're getting at. I played the game.
Hating so hard.
Well, it's like
The worst part is, I really enjoyed this game.
she really did have man face.
But she had Wonder Woman in every single
In
fighting game
PlayStation
face.
1. In PlayStation 1.
I can tell the difference between a girl and a guy. Okay, I can tell the difference. And that thing.
But on how many games was there really a difference? Face. Just face. We're not talking about like if you could see the whole character.
Oh wait, Yellow Ranger?
Yeah, Yellow Ranger. Yeah, Shane likes him, a Yellow Ranger.
I can't think of anything.
There we go.
Victory!
However, I will give it to you that, yes, there was definitely something odd looking about her.
Yes, it.
That thing.
But with
To be fair, maybe it's not supposed to be human anymore.
no, that makes
It does
sense.
make sense,
If that's
then.
the case, then yeah, that's fine.
Then it could have
Because
been a
the other
woman.
one grew horns and shit.
She still looked
And
like
then
a
the
woman.
the first one had the crazy
I see
hair.
her. I see her
had the
cleavage.
crazy hair that actually went all the way back and like tied into the wall when she was sitting in that room.
Yeah. That
And you walk in and like,
Edia.
yeah, like so. I mean, maybe they're supposed to get weird looking
Maybe after. Yeah, maybe.
as their power gets more.
I
Ridiculous.
haven't played the game in a long time, so the story is still a little. I remember most
Is that what
of.
we're going to?
Well, gameplay's next.
We're
Actually,
on gameplay.
let's go to gameplay. Now, here's the part where I know you wanted to talk about why you don't really care for 8 so much, because it's not. It's quite different.
Yeah, different.
Okay,
There's politically correct.
I will tell you
statement.
this: when you level up in the game, usually when you hit
It's
a level,
ass.
usually when you level up, you know they add in more experience points, and you got to keep climbing.
Not this time.
Not in 8. In 8, you need 1,000 experience every time to level up. Every time.
Now here's something funny though. You're level 10. Guess what? So's the monster.
Yep.
You're level 50. Guess what? That same bug monster you fought at level 10, level 50.
Yep.
Now you get to level 100. That same little bite bug you fought at level 50 that used to be level 10 is now level 100.
My problem in that aspect you're talking about is that the bosses come across level caps. Some of them can only go so strong and so weak. Like, they will level up with you, but they hit a capping point.
Some of them do, yes.
After a while, the bosses that you fought will be weaker than the random Balam soldier.
Yeah.
Random blue suit man number 547 is more powerful than the 6th boss of the game. Enjoy.
Well, honestly, nothing was as strong as my Squall because I broke the game. I got his ultimate weapon on disc 1.
I did. I
Which,
think,
no matter what anyone tells you, it is feasibly possible.
and I will vouch for the fact that he did break the game. He has 5 copies in order to play it now. He did break that game.
I played the shit out of that game,
No,
right?
no offense, but I had a friend that would not leave disc 1 until he was level 100.
See, I didn't get ridiculous like that, because that's just ignorant.
Like I remember.
That's ignorant. Motherfucker, you level grinded in Midgar to 99!
Yeah, you have no room
I
to
know.
talk.
I understood the mechanics of 8, though, because it literally tells you in the very beginning of the game
That it's ass?
that the monsters
Well,
will
no,
level up
if they
with
did
you.
that, then
so
nobody would play.
I thought to myself,
Oh.
the stronger I get, the stronger they get, so the battles will have to last even longer.
Okay, now
So
let's,
random encounters will become more of a pain in my ass.
now let's get into
So
the
let's not
real.
power grind this game.
Well, now let's get into the real issue that most people have.
A lot of people
Now,
hate the
what's
junctioning
that?
system.
Well,
Oh, junctioning. Yeah, let's
Unlike-
talk all about that garbage.
unlike the previous Final Fantasies that you just bought spells.
That were good.
Yeah, you just buy spells.
Yeah.
And you had it, or in 7, the materia was
That was a good system. I liked
The
that.
materia system was really good.
in
Yeah.
8. You cannot boost your stats unless you draw
No.
magic.
No. I will slap you for that.
Here comes.
Because if you're doing draw, you're fucking stupid. Stupid.
Gots
Now,
to draw.
this is
No,
where we
you
get-
don't.
This is where we get into a different debate because this guy over here.
This guy sat down with 2 other buddies and made it to the point of where Squall absorbed every single element and could not be harmed
and
by the
throws-
final
and
boss.
in order to do it, he just gave away items to supplement the drawing process, which is still time-consuming and retarded.
No.
So instead of going through the problem
Do you know what
of
I
drawing magic, you find items.
Which I have to run through those areas anyways. The monsters will drop them as I kill them. Guess what? Oh, I've got 50 of this thing. Oh, let's see. My GF just happens to know how to refine this particular type of spell. There we go.
I see no difference in the two.
Regardless, it's all time consuming.
If
Whether
you
you
want to
draw
make
an
fire
item.
magic from getting rid of these items, it's no different than finding the guy that had the fire magic and in one fight just simply hold the draw command because the guy can't hurt you and be done with it. Sometimes you draw 9s. I've had rare times where he's like, ching, 15.
Yeah, and then there's those other times where you're
Where you
like,
keep getting
"Shing,
1s or 0s."
1, shing, 1.
I know.
I'm not going to sit there and risk having 1s being the only thing that pop up.
But-
I'd rather kill a monster, get some items,
But
continue
how
the game.
different do you think it is if we said he's going to go through and draw magic, and you already know where every single magic is, where every draw is, and you're going to go through and find items to refine?
There's certain stuff that I will have to draw, but that's a requirement.
Yeah, but I don't see it as being
Because
that
those are
different.
GS.
It's still time consuming and fucking ridiculous.
They were trying something new. It happens.
Kind of like
That's why
Final Fantasy II, where they tried new stuff. It worked out well for them.
One and done.
One and done. Have we seen the junctioning system again, by
Have
the
we
way?
seen the materia system again other than... Actually, no, we haven't seen the materia system the same way.
But we have seen it.
We've seen a variant of
Mm-hmm.
the materia system.
Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core.
But then Final Fantasy IX just went back to old school ways.
Final Fantasy IX actually took
9
their
went
system
from
from Final
Tactics.
Fantasy Tactics.
Well, Tactics
You
Advanced.
learned your abilities and
Tactics
whatnot from
Advanced.
items that you had equipped.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I didn't give a fuck about tactics, but so.
I will say that
But the
Final
summons
Fantasy
were cool.
Final Fantasy is famous for reinventing itself, and no, it doesn't always work. And in this case, I will battle you till my dying breath. This case, it did not work. This is ass. I don't like the fact that I can't... Okay, When you level up in an RPG and your stats mean as much as Hans in Shining Force, they've done something wrong. I should not have to find items to make my guy better when I'm already leveling up, but when I level up, I get no better. Redundant.
You do get a little bit better. You do gain stats.
Play this game without junctioning.
You don't
Show
gain
me
a
how
lot
much
of
better
stats,
you get.
but you get better.
You level up like Hans. He gets better. He doesn't get much better. You have to find items and stupid redundant potions and crap to level him up accurately, but he does get better.
So we've come to the conclusion that if you don't junction, you're going to die.
If you don't take the time, and I will say this is somewhat true for the other Final Fantasies, but if you wanted to muscle through 7, it was possible. It was your choice. In this, there's no way around it. You have to waste the time to get the magic to do the junctioning process. You cannot do it without. Cannot. And that is a mechanic of the game, so it's good that they try to make you do it, but it just seems ridiculous. It takes far too long. When I'm already leveling up, why should I have to waste my time to get the other half of the experience I should have got when I leveled up? I should have just got it when I leveled up.
Sure.
Redundant.
Well,
Stupid.
it also, to get your...
Kind of like a license board. But we're
Yes.
not there yet.
And that's something
And guess
else
what?
I have
The
an issue
license
with.
board is more stupid.
A license board is more stupid. So if you think I don't like this,
No,
just
but
wait till we have to level grind.
Oh no, there are people who
To
like the
hold a
license
dagger.
board.
I was going to say nobody liked 12, but...
Oh, there's people who will
there's
fight
people
us
that
to the
love it.
death
There's
about
people
12.
that love it. But I think I sit on the same area as Nick. I don't think I should have to level grind to get the experience to put into the board so that I can equip my hat.
Dude, heck go on foot.
It is retarded.
That's
Yeah.
what it feels like.
But I did like in 8 you had to when your ultimate weapon to make your weapons. Yet you don't buy weapons. You buy.
That might be the only thing I like.
You gotta get.
Here's the thing: you do not need the magazines to do it. You just need the material.
Right. No. You're absolutely right.
I'm saying this for anyone who's listening to this. If you think you absolutely need those magazines, you're a fucking idiot.
But he is talking something real though. It is cool that you find the materials to make the weapons. Like for some reason, that seems more like a side quest. Because honestly, you don't need a weapon upgrade the whole game. You really don't need
No,
it.
Squall does. That's the only way Squall gets his other limit breaks.
Yeah.
So instead
You
of just
need
dealing with
Renzoku.
You
straight
don't
up
need- you
Renzakukin
want
with Rough Divide, which only hits one enemy,
yeah.
But
you
that's-
can get
it's a
Blasting Zone, which
that's
hits
something
every
you
enemy,
want. That's-
or Fated Circle, which hits every
It's
enemy.
a side mission to level up his things. It's not
Lionheart
something you need.
Is something you need.
No, it's not. It's like going out of your way to get Omni Slash. You don't
And you
need it,
always do, because
but you don't need
15
it. You
hits
want
of
it.
murder.
It's awesome to want, not to need.
I want
Need it.
Lionheart. I want
That's true. You want.
Need
like,
all the brokenness.
What they need is not a junction system.
but like the only reason why I would get the magazines again is because I don't remember what items I need to make what.
Ask me. I've got my strategy guide at home still.
Yeah, it's
I
one of the
don't need the magazines now.
it's one of the few
No.
things I did like was the idea that you could actually like
I know
Make
you need
weapons.
dragon bone or no dino bones, which you get from the T-Rex. And
Well, that's fun.
level between 20 and 30. You need pulse ammo, which if you get, or which you can get the items that you need to make those, which I think are laser cannons, in the lunatic Pandora or Dema or whatever the hell it was. As you're playing as Lagana.
there was
Because
a
you can
feature-
junction while you're there.
Thank you.
And then there's one other item you need, but it's pretty easy.
I can't believe it. You know, I played it multiple times growing up, and
I just broke the game for you.
And we didn't even get to the I found it interesting. Is the dream world, or if you want to call it the dream world, where you fall asleep in certain points of the game,
and then you become Squall's dad.
Laguna.
Sorry, spoilers, but you should already know this because the game is almost 20 years old.
Ward, and
well, that
Kyros.
doesn't mean they should know it, but this show doesn't exactly. I mean, there's not a single thing we haven't talked about for that stuff anyway. So.
Once you fall asleep in certain points of the game, you take
control
of Laguna's, Ward, and Kyros.
Or one of them.
And
usually it's Laguna.
And their fight, and like when they fight, you know, nothing changes with, you know, obviously with the junctioning and stuff. But like, I find that like, you know, Laguna had a machine gun.
Yeah, he did, which was awesome.
And then like,
and he has probably one of the coolest limit breaks in the entire game. Desperado was probably one of the sweetest limit breaks in the entire game.
Now,
because he'd whip a grenade out, chuck it at the enemy, shoot this grapple hook into the air,
and then just start
swing around the enemy, just fucking mowing them down, pop off of that, and a grenade would explode. And he'd look all badass.
Ward had the most interesting weapon. It was an anchor.
Ward was like, I'm gonna throw this bitch.
It's like he went to a giant ship and was like...
He was a Dragoon. That was the weird thing. Ward literally was a Dragoon.
Now, when you see Ward, you're gonna understand, how are you a Dragoon?
He's a fat guy who leaps in the sky after his anchor, then rides it back to the earth, causing ridiculous damage.
I feel like there's only one thing that was good in this game that actually was good enough to progress to other games. Only one thing ever.
What?
Summons. It was the first time that the summon was, aside from you, had its own life bar, was its own character that you could level up and you could alter the way that it grew.
They did tweak it a lot, though.
Yeah, but that's exactly what you do in Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy VIII GF is Final Fantasy X's summons.
Well, the big difference is in 10, when you have Yuna summon, it goes, bam, it's there. 8, you had to channel the GF to be able to summon it. It would pop up.
Bam, it's there.
Nick, you talking like a 15, 20 second intro.
No, because if you decide to, not watch the intro fucking time,
she needs to pet
then
the
it still
bird.
has a 15 to 20 second intro.
The enemy is not doing stuff while you're trying to
And
summon.
if you shut those
Okay,
off,
I get what
when
you mean.
When you summon the GFs, it's an active time meter still that counts down until the GF pops
But what
up.
that
You're
is-
channeling the GF's energy to pop it out.
What that is still no different. While you're channeling it, his life bar takes your place, and because of that, it's no different than in 10 when they're standing in front of you, and then her life bar is now Yuna's life bar. It's the same thing, except now you see yourself waiting for the chance to use your attack.
Now,
you also might have the chance of having that attack pop off right then and there. Whereas if you don't have the compatibility up with your GF, you're fucked. Because that one GF that you're like, oh, let's slap this bitch on a selfie. Let's use that little bitch for once. I want to use her limit break. Oh, she's got a good GF. She's not really good with it. Oh no, I need that GF to be summoned right now. Summon! Bar slowly comes down.
Okay,
Selfie starts getting targeted like a motherfucker. Oh, GF's dead.
That's still no different than in Final Fantasy X. You're being like taken in by the graphics. In Final Fantasy X, you're like, summon horse, and the horse is like, man, I'm slow. And then they hit the horse like 6 times, and he's like, man, I'm dead.
The horse couldn't take
what
a
fucking
hit.
battle are you in that they get 6 moves?
You just did it. There's a pillar here, and a pillar here, and a guy here, and you were like, I need to summon Bahamut. And Bahamut came down, and he did like one move, which was weak.
He got that one move.
He did a weak move, and because he did that one weak move, he had to wait 7 turns before he was going to be allowed to take another turn, and he was like, oh, dead.
The 2 Aeons, in my
It's
opinion.
the same thing. You got to wait while they take all their turns to finally get your turn.
Well, what I liked about the
the
summoning
only
in 8,
difference is you get your final attack when the summon does finally happen.
when when you summon an 8, what I liked is you could when it learns its abilities and stuff, you can put this ability called Boost on.
That was actually what I was about
And what
to
I
do.
like about Boost is that when you summon it, you mash that square button.
Well, you have
Then
to
you
hold
gotta-
down select.
Yes.
Yeah,
Then
hold
you can
make
mash
the
the square
animation.
button.
But there's certain times where you see a red X appear, you gotta stop, or it resets you.
Yes.
And then you gotta
Drop it
keep
back
going.
down to 75%.
If you can get it to 255,
It
Maximum-
will wreck some shit.
but some of them intros, by the way, you cannot skip these intros.
Some of the intros are really quick. Quizcoddle is probably the fastest, and the highest I've ever got on that is 170.
Now, like when you get to
And that was
Doom,
without a turbo control.
when you get to Eden or Doom Train,
Eden, if you can't get 255
on
on
him,
Eden, stop playing the fucking game, stop playing video games,
no joke,
and go do
that
something else with your life.
That dude coming into the fight is what is it like a 60-second fucking like?
It's almost,
Damn.
it is about 45 seconds long. You can sit there and go,
yeah, I got 255 on him easily.
oh
Yeah,
however am I going to get that
The
255?
The fastest person I've ever known was AMFR, and boy, that dude pushed the button. Like, he got the 255 on every single summon. It used to blow my mind.
It's like, as I said, it's possible on Quizcoddle, you got to be fast. I was not fast enough.
He was a monster. He used to
Carbuncle
make me
doesn't-
mad because we'd play other games like Dragon Ball Z, and there was no way I would shoot a beam at him. I got real good at fighting close up because if I shot a beam and he did too, I lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because he had that good old fashioned jerk off movement, narrowed it down to a science.
Well, Carbuncle didn't. Carbuncle's attacks never hurt anyone.
Carbuncle, you didn't need to boost. That's why it never learned boost.
There are certain
Because all it
GS
does
that
is
don't
cast
learn boost.
reflect. Diablos doesn't learn boost because his is based off of his level. At 100 or at level 100, Diablos, he will take literally 100% of the enemy's HP away. Done deal.
His
Does not
attack
work
is
on
awesome
bosses,
too.
but he will brump bitches
Diablos
with this
looks-
giant gravity ball of doom.
Diablos looked real badass in this game. I
You
really,
don't fuck with Diablos.
really did like how he looked. I like how a lot of the GFs look. I like how Ifrit looks.
Cerberus was another one that didn't learn boost. 'Cause all it did was cast double and triple on your party.
Yes.
But that allowed you to throw 2 or 3 spells, which was a stupid idea anyways, because it only made you weaker. So the only thing that was useful for was to throw auras on your character so that way you can use limit breaks.
Yeah.
You can get Jumbo Cactar.
Yeah, you can get Jumbo Cactar. He throws 10,000 needles with this fantastically fabulous moustache.
Yes.
Fuck your
He is
world.
always somebody you
Mustache
want to
of
get.
Awesome.
He's a pain in the ass to get. But
Well,
There is one neat thing. If you actually go out of your way to get Odin as soon as you can,
yeah.
before you get to one certain spot, then
oh yeah,
you lose Odin.
oh yeah.
He will die.
Yeah, I know.
But you get someone.
But
I
you
feel.
get fucking Gilgamesh. And he is a badass.
Oh.
Unless he pulls out Excalibur, then you get pissed off. But the cool thing is, he will show up during boss fights.
Yes,
He just won't use Zantetsuken.
obviously he really can't do that. You can't really.
He will. Well,
I
no,
like-
actually, he does show up in one boss fight to use Zantetsuken. That, like, Odin shows up and uses Zantetsuken and dies
and we all know who.
because Cypher's a prick.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so, as he's getting Zantetsuken, he does like a Ren Zettetsuken or some stupid shit like that and cuts Odin in half. He's like, "You fucking like it, bitch!" And then at the end of the fight, Gilgamesh pops up and he's like, "Brum!" That's how you like it.
Anything left in gameplay?
Actually, the Ragnarok airship.
Ooh, yes.
I'm sorry, the Ragnarok spaceship that shoots a fucking laser out of its dragon mouth.
The fact,
Fucking beast!
the fact that you had to fucking find each enemy and beat them by color.
Yeah, that one was
That-
annoying but
it is.
interesting.
It was. I thought that was an very interesting mechanic because if you run into one room and you fight the red monster,
You
you're
have
like,
to
now
go
I gotta
after the
find
red guy.
now.
Else both or the other one will respawn if you try to fight another one.
I found that interesting, but I forgot about the card game.
Oh, the card game, yeah, Triple Triad.
That is actually a lot of fun.
That has a huge fan following.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually they sell decks online. Like you can get on eBay, and there's people that actually laminate the actual cards and sell them.
There's a couple apps on your phones and stuff that you can get. There's an online or website that you can actually play the game with digital cards.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for it. You just literally build a deck. Over time, you get like a starter deck, and then you can use in-game currency that you get from winning matches.
I remember playing that a lot.
Because
there were a few people I knew had the rare cards.
It had one of the most tediously long side quests I've ever known.
They actually say it is. They say it's the second longest and most tedious side quest in all of Final Fantasy history.
Only behind what?
It's
Final Fantasy 12. You cannot open a single
fucking box
anywhere in the game ever
until one certain box. If you don't know what box that is, you can't even touch the box.
Yeah.
If you run up and nudge the box, you've already failed. Restart your game. You cannot come into contact with a box.
And if you do this, you get a really crazy friggin' weapon.
Which is not worth it. It's like getting to the second disc on Final Fantasy 9
and
under 2 hours.
Final Fantasy 12 also
to get the Excalibur 2
is home to the longest boss fight in the history of Final Fantasy.
Which one?
There's a boss fight in Final Fantasy 12, and he does not heal ever. You go in, you fight him for like 4.5 hours, you get tired of fighting him, go save, try again tomorrow. He'll still be at the same life that you left him at.
Which boss was
you
this?
also got to remember, I never got that far in 12.
I've seen it done on YouTube. It's this giant white dragony thing, and he's in this big circly room, and the dude just did like this speed cam thing where the video's still like 3.5 hours, and you could tell that the footage is sped up like crazy, and they're just running in like for a long time, and then they're like, oh my god, so they just leave and they save and they come back and they do it again, and I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Save, go back in, hit the guy for like another 50 hours. You know, see, anyone who says Final Fantasy 12 is like an 80-hour game, it's because they spent 50 hours fighting that boss.
It's dumb crap.
They spent
like
20 hours being lost and 10 hours of mediocre story.
Because the story is god awful.
Fighting turtles.
Yeah, fighting turtles.
Or giant T-Rex. You're like, oh, it's a T-Rex. That shouldn't be too hard.
There's T-Rex in 8.
Yeah, right in the beginning, going to the training grounds, you can run into the T-Rex.
And the T-Rex is not as hard to kill as it is in 12.
No, he's just awesome.
Because he's a motherfucking T-Rex.
I mean, right off the bat, I remember starting the game, running into the training center. Because you have to do it.
If you talk to people, they will tell you, hey, you should like Junction Shiva and throw some blind magic on your status attack, which is the smartest idea to fight, a T-Rex.
Because if you blind the T-Rex and I think it's weak against ice.
Yep.
Shiva
will blind it.
She'll wreck
summon, it dies.
Got anything left on
gameplay? No, not that I can think of.
I'm trying to think.
I spent such a long time. We got the.
If it was only in the Japanese version, but I read a lot about it. It seemed like a neat concept. You can go into the Chocobo Forest, and there's different Chocobo puzzles that you can do by whistling to get the Chocobos to appear and everything. You get special items.
I remember. I didn't like anything about the Chocobos.
There was also a second thing that went along with that. Once you complete the first one, you get Chibi Chocobo. Little baby Chocobo.
Yeah, and that's for the PlayStation
Pocket.
Pocket, yeah.
When it
came to PSP.
Pretty much.
When it came to
It was a Tamagotchi pet.
when it came
Just with the
to
chocobo.
chocobos in this game, I didn't care about.
Oh, and in the computer game, I didn't mention that. In the computer game, you could load up like the third disc or something like that, and there was a game that was only for the chocobo that you raised, and he did like a dungeon type thing, like a.
So that was the first Chocobo's dungeon.
Yeah, I think so. It
Because
was
there
like
was
a
a
weird
bunch of the
mini
Chocobo
game.
dungeon games.
Well,
At least for us, I think it might be the only chocobo dungeon we got.
No, we got Chocobo Dungeon 1.
Did we?
I know we got.
we got 2 also.
I think we got two.
We got 1 and 2. I don't think we got any of the others.
I don't
Okay.
think they were big
there's like
sellers
4 or
over here.
5.
I honestly don't think they were big sellers over here.
I can't imagine.
It's like I'm wanting to say there was about 4 or 5. I
But-
never played the Chocobo Dungeon games.
No, I haven't either.
I did buy Chocobo Fables for the DS. I actually kind of enjoyed that.
You would.
It was a neat little game. It was like playing Kirby.
Okay.
It was a feel good game.
I think that's all we got for gameplay. So now we got to move into the last part,
Story.
and that is
time.
the story.
And this is where shit gets crazy.
You can pick 2 things you like or 2 things you hate.
All right.
Wow.
I got this.
I'm gonna go last on this. I really have to think about that.
I got this. This would be easy.
No,
for
wait.
you.
Are you sure it's 2 and
Yes.
2 this time?
No,
and
it's
2.
not 2 and 2. It's exactly what I said last time.
2
You
and
can
2.
pick 2 things you like or 2 things you hate
Or one
or a
of each.
combination of.
One thing I like in story was during the final boss fight, once you defeat first form of Ultimecia, she summoned her GF Griever, which
Oh,
just
yeah.
happened to be your keychain.
Yes, that was
It was
sweet.
the same. It was the same creature that was on Squall's keychain. Once you defeat Griever, she fuses herself. She junctions herself into the GF, not the GF to her. She junctions herself into the GF and mutates into this crazy hybrid.
Yes. I
And
do
then when you destroy her, she takes on her actual true form because when she junction with Griever or whatever you happen to name it, because for some reason you got to name your keychain,
Yeah.
which was funny. Once you do that, she starts to dissolve. But really, all it is like that corporal being is dissolving, and time and space is warping so bad now because it's no longer under her control because you just kicked the shit out of her that she just becomes this weird monster that has like no face, weird little glow thing in the center, and then on the bottom you see like what could be her former self before she became like a sorceress, all bound up underneath of her. In like a weird, kind of like Anima,
Yeah.
where you had that scary motherfucker at the
Okay.
top, and then you had
Yeah.
the Demon King underneath.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like that, except without everything being, split off. You could see all of it at once.
Okay.
Also, if you want to get the ultimate magic of the game that you can never junction, but you can use against her, you can draw cast Apocalypse from her bottom self, and it's hilarious. Thing I hated the most, mainly because of all the theories that are around, is end of disc 1. When Squall takes the ice pick to the chest. I hate that part for one reason. It throws too many theories out there of what the rest of the game is, and it makes people go on a flame war with each other because half the community is like, he's dead, it's a dream, and the other half is, he lived, they have fucking magic. Oh, well.
Okay. You're talking about you.
When Squall gets hit
When
in the
he
chest,
shoots him with the
I
he's
know,
like,
you're talking-
oh, that's cute, bro.
But you're talking about the theory part of it.
Yes.
Are you
I
saying
hate that part of the game because of how many different theories came up and how many people started hating on the game and each other just because of that one spot. They could not just enjoy the game. You'd be like, yeah, he got sliced in the face by a blade. Okay. He got hit in the chest with an icicle. It was in the shoulder. That can heal. With magic easily. You just counteract the magic. Bam, you're fine.
The thing that caused the controversy is what he says. Because, I mean...
And also the end sequence when he's all alone.
Yes, but the biggest thing that causes the start of the controversy is that if you live in that universe, you're not dumb, he's not an idiot. If people can be healed from that type of stuff, like, okay, they live in a modern day today with magic. They do. We have internet. I'm sure they have the same thing. So you're not going to tell me that this guy has never heard stories about, yeah, I lost my arm, or yeah, this and that, and then they just magicked it, and there's not even a wound. There's not even a wound. So obviously, people that get hurt in their universe have scars. He has one on his face.
Yes.
But when he wakes up, he takes a look immediately and he says, there's no wound, there's no scar. So, this is something that not even he can fathom.
Yeah, because the start of the freaking...
But when you add
Game, he
Ultimisia into the mix, everything kind of gets thrown out the window because time space.
Right, but at the
So
same
she
time...
might have viewed it as, I need him alive type of deal.
It's
further my ends.
But then if it never happened at all, if she stops the thing from hurting him, he doesn't wake up
She
there.
could have just rewound him.
But he still wakes up in a different place knowing what happened.
He wakes up in the prison.
No.
No.
He wakes up back at Balam Garden.
Yeah.
In the infirmary. Because they dragged him back there.
They try to assassinate the sorceress.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the end of the first disc.
Yep.
I remember, for some reason, I remember them waking up in a prison.
He wakes up in like some weird town with the yellow guys or whatever, if I remember right, and like he has no wound or something. This is a long time ago. I can't remember. What I know is he wakes up, he has no wound.
Right, I remember that, but I know there's a prison part.
There is, but I don't think you're there yet.
No, the prison shows up later on.
Because you have to escape from the prison.
Right.
But I don't think Squall was there.
No, that's when you actually go to attempt to assassinate Edea again.
With Irvine.
Uh-huh.
But that's in the first disc.
No.
You remember
Irvine
he jumps down in the car.
No, that's where he got
joins your
stabbed.
team again. You go to the oh god, what was it? The TV station.
Yes.
You remembering now?
Now, yes, TV station. That's where Cypher.
That's where you re-meet up with Cypher.
Okay, I remember the television.
Oh wait, no, that might have happened beforehand. Then.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so then after that,
look, it's been a long time.
It's been too
what
long.
I know is he doesn't wake up in the prison because he wakes up with no wound and he's in an awful nice bed.
He's in the infirmary.
And he specifically states there's no wound. And if he is weirded out by that, and you assume that they live in a universe where there's obviously internet-like technology, then there's no way that he can wake up and say something like that and be confused. You know what people look like when they're scarred. And the other point that's weird is that when that happens and he wakes up and there's no scar, why didn't they fix his face? If
Maybe
they can do
he
that,
decided to keep the scar.
he doesn't decide anything. That's what I'm getting at. He doesn't decide. He wakes up and he's like, "Oh, there's no scar." So if they were like, "Yeah, we're fixing this," why would they like, "He's got an awful big scar on his face," and they were like, "Fuck that scar."
It makes him look menacing.
Yeah, like they would have fixed that too.
I think that everybody's going to have their own opinion.
And people are going to fight over this for a long time, and it's one of those things you just take it like it is.
Did he die? Did he not?
I like the fan theories, but I play the game for the sake of playing the game.
In my opinion.
Like, I like the theories, I like what comes to, just like Pokemon. I like all the theories, but when I play Pokemon, I'm not sitting there with a pad and paper being like, mysteries.
I think he died.
There's a high probability that he did.
Mm-hmm.
There's a high probability that it's all a dream. There's a chance that what I said might have happened.
Right.
A dream.
Because that was one of my thoughts when I saw some of that. But honestly, the big thing that I hate about it is the fact that people can't just say, that's a possibility.
What do you got,
Instead,
guy?
they're like, fuck you, you're wrong. And I hate that.
Well, this is tough. This really is.
Why, because I stole one of your moments?
You actually really did.
Here, I'll pick one I hate.
Okay,
The entire game?
No, honestly, it's something that runs through the entire story, and it pisses me off to no end.
Does it have to deal with Renoa?
It is ignorant. Here's why. In Final Fantasy VII, most people that attack the fanboy public say, game's friggin' retarded, blah, 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 amnesia's dumb. Because they get tired of the amnesia gimmick. And Cloud is an amnesia gimmick.
Yes, he
one
is.
of the big things about GFs is prolonged use will cause you to have
But
amnesia.
in Final Fantasy VIII,
And everyone's okay with that.
everyone except one character is suffering from amnesia. They all know each other. The whole cast knows each other.
Except for Irvine.
And
He
there's
wasn't
only
there.
one kid. No.
No, Irving
He
was there.
was
He's the
there.
only one that remembers.
And that's my
'Cause he-
problem.
He hated using GFs.
This is my biggest problem with it. All those characters find this to be an epiphany later on. Like, holy
oh yeah, we
shit,
do know each
we
other.
do know each other. But Irvine is made to look dumber than hell. If you knew me since I was 5, and then I meet you later on, and I'm like, so you're our sniper? And you're like, that's right, never miss a shot. And I'm like, glad to
Except
be
when
working
you miss
with
a
you.
shot.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm glad to be working with you and crap like that. Now, we spend hours together in the briefing, talking, planning things out, learning each other's battle strategies, getting ready for this assassination, and then the day of it, we go there, and not once, not even one time, did you be like, remember me? Never. You don't bring up nothing. You know every single person on the strike force, and you said nothing. You were just like, huh, coincidence.
What the beast?
Yeah,
Well, I remember that.
I hate that. That is one of the worst story possibilities ever. It makes the entire thing that they were doing seem ridiculous. The fact that not the fact that everybody had amnesia, that pisses me off right off the bat, but the fact that one guy doesn't, and he doesn't find it weird that they don't know who he is. Look, if I'm Squall and I don't remember you, okay. I'm one guy. When the
He just
entire
might be an asshole.
when the entire class I grew up with is like, derp. We don't only not know you, we don't know each other.
And some of you have been going to school together for a while.
Yeah. And he doesn't find it weird at all. He's just like, people forget.
You also tried to kill the person taking care of you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
And,
the
and your
reason,
headmaster is her husband.
Yep.
and the reason he doesn't
Who
fire,
you've known for forever too.
the
Well-
reason he doesn't fire is because he knows that. But he doesn't bother mentioning it to anybody.
Makes sense on why he hesitated.
Think about how stupid that is. You work for Balam Garden. You are a mercenary that takes assassination and protection missions. Your job is to kill your surrogate mother. Now, at any point in time, they have over 1,000 different snipers in different gardens across the world that could take your place.
Well,
And you, dumb son of a bitch, you're like, yeah, I'll shoot her.
yeah, that's like your mom, dude. You really want to kill her?
And if you couldn't do it,
I don't know. You are asking Bill.
Well, there's certain people out there that probably can shoot their mom.
I mean, if you couldn't shoot,
I probably would say, listen, I can't shoot her.
because that woman is like my mom.
That
And then
woman-
when the other people are like, your mom, and they're like,
And
well,
then you're
yeah.
in prison.
I mean, she kind of raised us. Who's us?
I would be like, listen, I know you guys don't remember this, but we all grew up together. That's like our mom.
Yeah.
She raised us. Let's not shoot her in the head.
All of you guys know each
Well,
other.
gotta shoot people in the head, Shane.
All you guys
Gotta
know
be
each other,
done.
and
Good
all
job.
of us know her. And then it's made even more redundant when they finally get there to do the thing, and then not only does she just walk away from Renoa because that was just one of her kids, she doesn't think nothing one way or another, she just walks right away from her in that situation. When Squall jumps onto the cart, she doesn't try to be like, oh, this or that. No, she's just like, big spikes of death, bye, child.
By the way, you can probably
Sometimes
tell
you
who
have
I
to
hated
be
the
a
most.
Yeah.
I hated your brooding ass. You were brooding.
You were an emo bitch then, and you still are now.
What kid was not the favorite?
Squall. Out of everybody she could have killed,
So I hate that.
she fucking threw an ice sickle at Squall.
She did not like his
No.
emo
Now-
brooding ass.
And I also hate the lazy writing.
Yeah.
I hate the lazy writing that proceeds through the entire game, like when she's gonna fall off the garden,
Yes.
and anybody could have saved her, but they're all like, Squall, go do it. And he's like, he even says, why? Weren't you just there? And they're like, yeah, but only you can do it, Squall. They may as well just be saying, but you're the main character.
And you're supposed to love her.
The whole game
Yeah.
is just these characters
It's a big ass love story.
trying to hook you and her up, and even he notices it. He's like, look, I don't like her. And they're like, come on.
It was almost like by the end of the.
Nudge.
It was almost like-
totally want that.
You're the main character.
It's almost like by the end of the
Squall.
game they pressured you into liking her. So you're like, fine, I like her.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That
and he's
is
still a broody little bitch.
terrible, terrible story design.
You gave nothing good. So there's your two.
Yep.
And you gave your two. No, okay. What I don't like. Now this is my. I just never cared for it because I just didn't. Is that the whole test? You know when they give you your C test and they take you to that I can't remember that.
To make money?
No,
when
that
they take you to the
island.
Oh,
And
I
that
can't remember the name of
And
it.
the cutscene shows them on the boat, and they land on the island, and then it also at the end of it, that spider thing, and Quist
that spider thing was sweet
I
as
hate
shit.
that thing. I hate that entire area.
Did you beat it 5 times or 5 or 8 times and blow it up on the bridge?
No,
Then you did it wrong.
I never liked that part. I all I wanted to do was get past that part.
You actually start off with a much higher seed rank if you blow that fucking thing up.
Okay.
But it blows up the bridge too. So then the entire city's like, douchebag!
Need more money.
Damn it, do you know how much that bridge cost? That cost more than rebuilding our entire town!
Not my problem. I ain't paying it. But no, I hated that entire part. And I usually just rushed through that so I can get past it so I can continue on. I just never liked that part. I hated it. Now, one part I did like is the beginning of the game. Now, it's not the whole, it's actually right after that technically because they graduate. You know, they go to that dance and that's where Squall and Renoa first, lock eyes and
No, they don't. He doesn't. That's part of my.
That's what I
That's
like.
part of the part that I fucking can't.
She
stand.
walked
The
up.
story is awful. She walks up to him, not knowing who he is, but she, out of all the fucking people in the room that are staring at her ass, she walks up to him, and
Because he's the one who's not looking at her.
fuck that. He is blatantly disgusted by her. Blatantly disgusted. She walks up, and he even goes out of his way to turn his fucking head and not look at her.
Yeah, I do like that. Because she's talking.
And still, this dumb bitch is like, pay attention to me.
Yeah, because I think if I remember right, he turns his head and she's like,
Yeah, she turns her face to be in his.
Is
And
that-
be like, you're the best looking guy here. And he's like, I don't care.
I'm like,
I'm sad and lonely. And then at the time that she was talking to you and dancing with you, she was dating Cypher.
yeah.
Why did she dance with him? I obviously don't fucking like you.
Now, what I did like is, if you remember, there's a part where you can make your you can put people on the stage.
Oh yeah,
The music part.
That was, damn it, that's another one that I like.
That's in the beginning, and that's
There's two versions of, or there's two songs that you can do at Fisherman's Horizon.
depending on the people you put on their instruments.
If you don't put people on correct instruments, it sounds like ass.
Yes, usually.
But depending on which instruments you put on there and who's playing what, you get two songs. You get an Irish jig, or you get a more jazzy version of Eyes on Me, which is the song that the piano player lady plays. And it's also the song that, oh god, I'm trying to remember. It's during that one cutscene where they show that little girl's, or no, not that little girl, Rain's
Daughter.
tombstone.
Oh, Rain.
Rain's
Yeah,
tombstone.
Squall's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Julia was
Yes,
Julia was
yes.
not Squall's mom.
I
that
remembered-
was Renoa's mom.
Yes, I remember.
Which is ironic because Julia and Lagana were supposed to hook up. It never happened.
right, and then he got with
And
Rain.
then he ended up getting with Rain. Rain died, but they had a kid.
Yeah.
Well, they had two kids.
Squall and
Squall and Elena.
Elena.
Elena
yeah.
is Squall's big sister.
Yep. Yep.
But they were orphaned because Lagana disappeared.
Yeah.
But then he became the president of Estar, and the only reason why he disappeared is because of that stupid psycho can never enter this area barrier popped
I
up.
always thought that city was really neat.
That city was fucking sweet.
That city was neat.
The whole
but-
super futuristic city, Bill. You remember that shit?
Where you could only get into it like a dimensional rip, it seemed like.
Okay.
Because you're in
Yeah.
that snowy area, and all of a sudden you see the rip open up, and you actually have to
Like-
climb up to it.
Well, this game,
You had to go through the mountains.
Yep.
my memories are not perfect.
Neither is mine, but
I played through the first disc on the PlayStation most recently. And then I played years ago in like 98 or whatever when it came out. I think it was 8. I played it on the computer and I beat it. And I never, ever, ever played it to completion again.
well, I haven't played it in a long time.
But I do seem to recall, isn't it like really friggin' big? Can't you get lost in that city?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That city
is big.
huge.
It's a big city.
And there's one spot in that city, and I don't know how many times I've said this about games. I fucking hate time limits. I
Okay.
fucking hate them with
I
a
agree.
passion.
I agree. Time limits are dumb.
Upside to time limits sometimes, it gives you a little bit more of a feel for determination
Mhm.
and a sense of urgency. But not when it's fucking puzzles.
Puzzle.
Fuck you, God of War.
Puzzle time limits are dumb.
There are, I want to say, 2 instances. No, there's only one instance in this game, I think, that you have to deal with the time limit. And it's an S-Star when you're trying to get on Lunatic. No, 2 instances.
Lunatic
One of them's
Pandora?
fucking stupid. When you're trying to get on the Lunatic Pandora, you have like a, I want to say it's like 10, I think 15, 20 minute time span to get on there. At certain times, it'll be at these certain areas, and once you learn where they're at and get there in time, you can jump on earlier. So that way you don't have to fight like 10,000 random encounters trying to get there. The other time that there's a time limit, and I fucking hate it with burning passion
Of 1,000 burning suns,
of 1,000 exploding suns,
burning and exploding.
is when you have to go save fucking Renoa in her stupid spacesuit, floating in space.
I hated that.
She's running out of oxygen.
You had to
So
line
loved it.
you have time for one shot.
Yes, I remember.
Because once you miss,
I hated that.
you will never find her again.
You're like that. It's literally like this. Oh yeah, I can still.
Yeah, it's like you'll like
no,
boost.
No, it's like
You'll do a boost, and you'll burn most of your fuel up to do it, and you'll miss, and you'll fly just like an ass hair's length away from her, past her, like
I'm gonna be honest.
And then you try to turn around, and by the time you get turned back around using as minute amounts of jet fuel that you have for your space jetpack thing, she's like a little speck in the horizon. You're like,
This was
motherfucker.
This was literally so long ago.
You don't remember that
No,
part?
no. Listen, I got it on my first try, and thought you couldn't miss.
No, you can.
Because the first time I did it, I only did it once, and I was like, gotcha. Just one try.
The first time I did it, I got it right out the gate.
So I never knew
I tried
that you
to play
could
it.
miss.
I tried to rush through the entire game and like as fast as possible. Ew, excuse me. And I was half awake, fighting off sleep as best as I could when I got to that part. And I missed it by an ass hair's length. And I looked, I was like, are you
I'm sorry.
serious?
Sorry, Val. I'm like, gotcha. I didn't miss. I may have missed,
It was
but
just
you're
game over.
right there. No, but I'm gonna go ahead and score this.
Yeah.
Because I think we've talked about as much as we can.
Yeah, I think we are at the end.
And I'm gonna
Yeah.
give it a 3.5.
With gay hand movements included. All right.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to throw in.
Honestly, I'm gonna have to say the same. It's a 3.5. It's above average. They did try some new stuff.
It is above average. I
It
like.
didn't work out the way that they were hoping for, but it was a unique system that everyone remembers.
The story-
and
yeah.
a lot of people do enjoy.
The Junction thing is a pain in the ass. The whole the story had some highs and it had some lows.
But
But
it had some really good highs.
yes, actually,
and then it had some really bad lows.
yes. But overall, like I said, it is above average, definitely.
It is at least a bit above
Now
average.
it's depending on what Bill scores this game.
Bill's probably gonna give it like a 2.
'Cause I'm only assuming it's just going to be us three scoring.
You got it right on. I give it a 2.
So
I give
we're
it a
gonna be sitting
2
at about a 3
because I
then.
cannot replay this game. That's a big part for me. It's
Right.
just like Final Fantasy VII. I love it, and I would love to give it a 5, but I can't because to this day, I cannot replay that game.
I understand where you're getting at. I have problems going back to 7. I really need to go back to 8 because there's parts of that game we were talking about that I'm like, what? I don't remember. I really need to go back. Like 9, I remember a lot about 9. When we get to that, I do remember a lot
Because of me,
because of
Is
Bill.
it a 3?
This is no.
almost, it got a 2.9.
Man, your score really dropped there.
Look, okay, but to be fair,
No, it's fine.
this is one of those games where it's kind of, this is the reason I grade it the way we
almost
do.
an average game.
It's just under average.
There's a lot of good things, but there's a lot of bad things to help drag it down.
And even and looking at that score, the reason I'll say it's fair is because while I can tell you, I can recommend this RPG to people. And
Yeah.
the reason I can do it is because if you've never played it, and if you have an open mind, this might be something for you. It's not terrible.
It's not a
I
tragic game.
I can make it sound like it is, but that's because I spent a lot of time with it.
And also because we haven't done our thing on Final Fantasy 12.
And this game is...
Because that's tragic.
And I think the game is rated fairly because it is rated above some of the other games already. So it's
Actually,
not doing
it's rated
that
above
bad.
a large chunk of the games.
Yeah, it's one of the better that came out in the series.
Yeah.
But it feels... I think my issue is that its age has destroyed it. Everything that Final Fantasy VIII does has been done in another game better. Like everything that it does.
So
So it's real hard for me to sit through this game.
I
again.
recommend 8. I think it is a good game. Is it the best in the series? No.
No.
Is it the worst in the series?
No.
No. It's in the middle.
There's definitely a couple games that are worse.
I already know one game that's going to be a 0.
Just a heads up, 2, 5, and 12 are probably the worst Final Fantasies.
No, 5 was good.
I hated 5. In my opinion, 2, 5, and 12 are the worst.
When we come
How
back for
far in 5 did you get?
Far. I can't remember.
Did
getting
you get
far.
stopped at Omega? Is that what happened?
when we come back for Final Fantasy IX, we will recap all the scores just to settle this. But for right now, I think that this one is complete.
Later on.